Well, hello there, everyone. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Today is Wednesday. It is July 2nd. That is 2025, just a day or two away from 4th of July holiday and time for a needed break for many of us. Well, it is great to be here with you. Of course, we don't take a break. We still put the shows out on the holiday. Even when I travel on vacation, the shows never take a break. All right, guys. So it is great to be with you. If you are parched and maybe you want something to drink, well, go ahead and grab something from the kitchen. Whether that's, let's say, a sparkling water, or maybe that's some RO water, or maybe it's some fruit or something sweet or tart, healthy or not. That's totally up to you. Again, I want to take this opportunity to welcome each and every one of you if you're new here to Inspirations for Your Life. And if this is your let's say second, third, fourth, or 100th time coming, well, welcome back. It's always great to have you back on Inspirations for Your Life. In case you're wondering, everyone, our master topic for the week is walking forward with purpose. Really cool master topic. And our granular topic is freedom comes through kindness, service, and self-control. And incidentally, this is series 4, show 27, episode number 5. So welcome everyone to the show. So go ahead and hurry on back from the kitchen so we can get started. Welcome to another transformational episode of the ever popular Inspirations for Your Life podcast. I am your host, podcast coach, serial entrepreneur, video producer, and a lot more, engineer. I welcome you to this show. And you also know that I'm a passionate, strong believer that true freedom isn't just granted, guys. It's earned through how we live. Today, we're diving into a message that's at the heart of personal growth. Freedom comes through kindness, service, and self-control. When we shift from chasing external freedoms to building internal strength through kindness, service, and mastery of ourself, we unlock a very powerful gem. What is that? Liberty. One that no one can ever take away from us. Let's explore this together, all right? And how these values can set us free and to allow us to become a better version of ourselves and to explore an amazing, wonderful, powerful life. Number 1, kindness opens the door to inner freedom. When we choose kindness, even in moments when it's hard, we release ourselves from chains of negativity and judgment. Kindness lifts the weight of anger, guys, envy, and resentment, leaving room for, well, peace. Each kind act is a step forward, a freer, lighter heart that not only controlled by the darkness of the world around us, but can really make a difference. Number 2, guys, serving others frees us from selfishness. Acts of service remind us that life is bigger than ourselves. I found that when I give my time or energy to help others, I'm the one who walks away feeling richer. Service redirects our focus, helping us escape the small prison of ego that we've unfortunately trapped ourselves into and experience that boundless, blissful joy of community and connection. All right. Well, number 3, guys, is a really good one. Self-control empowers us to choose our path. Remember, I said, guys, life is a choice. When we practice self-control, we're not being restricted. We're actually giving ourselves, well, power and freedom. That power to say no to distractions, yes to ourselves, and also no to harmful habits and to what doesn't serve our future. This discipline allows, well, us to choose a path of purpose and intention rather than being swept away by impulse. This is key. To be aware of our surroundings, be aware of how we feel at the moment, right? Our thoughts create our reality. Now, it's not like you think of something and it happens tomorrow. It has to kind of percolate, like you put coffee in the pot and it doesn't actually brew, or you make tea. It doesn't happen in 3 seconds, right? You got to steep it for a few minutes, or the coffee takes some time, right, to make. Number 4, true freedom comes from mastering ourselves. No external liberty can compare to the freedom that comes from self mastery. When we understand and govern our thoughts, emotions, and actions, we stop being at the mercy of external forces. We become authors of our own story, living with integrity and strength. And I think that's what everybody wants today. But, they get all hung up in, oh my gosh, like what's going on now? Or what do I have to do? Like everybody just gets in that endless circle, that merry-go-round, that they got on by accident and they're begging to get off. You know the one. Number 5, helping others helps us grow beyond our limitations. Every time we step up for someone else, we stretch beyond what we thought we were capable of. We discover resilience, compassion, and of course, creativity. We don't know that we had, and I think this is a key thing for everyone. Helping others pushes our boundaries and opens new doors inside ourselves. Number 6, kindness builds bridges that set us free. Kindness isn't just about being nice, guys. It's about creating connections that actually break down walls of misunderstanding and, yes, fear. What's fear? False evidence appearing real. Those bridges give us freedom from isolation, freedom from conflict, and freedom to walk with bliss together towards something much better. Number 7, service transforms duty into purpose. When we serve with our heart, right here, what might have felt like obligation turns into mission. We stop seeing service as a burden and start seeing it as, well, a chance to make meaningful impact. This shift slowly unlocks a deeper sense of fulfillment and purpose in our lives. Number 8, guys, self-discipline creates lasting liberty. True liberty doesn't come from doing whatever we want, whenever we want. It comes from aligning our actions with our core values. Self-discipline helps us build habits that lead to the kind of life we've actually wanted to live our entire lives, free from regret, chaos, and laced and tied to purpose. Number 9, freedom is found in how we treat others and ourselves. Our greatest freedom comes not from outside circumstances, guys, but from the choices we make in every interaction. When we treat others with respect and ourselves with compassion, we create a very unique environment where everyone can thrive together. Number 10, acts of kindness and service unlock deeper personal strength. Every time, folks, we extend ourselves for others, we tap into inner reserves of courage, patience, and generosity. These acts build a strength that no external challenge can shake, and it sets us free from fear and security. And we all learned before that fear is not fear, guys. It's just false evidence appearing real, trying to rob us of our true integrity of who we really are and who we can become. So, guys, here is the part of the program that I really like. Well, I like the whole program. I'm sure you guys know that it's such a privilege to be here. But this is something I think that's really valuable. I am going to basically give you a personal story or a personal lesson. And it's my hope that it will solidify things in your life. It'll help you understand these points that I've talked about and allow you to, well, take ownership of them. See, just hearing me doesn't mean that you're going to apply these things. You've got to practice this stuff in your own life. And if you don't practice it, you know what happens? Well, you lose it. You lose it. One of the things I started doing not too long ago is I started writing down my dreams every night. And this is really powerful. Sometimes, I get up in the morning, I'll write them right away. Other times I'll wait, but then I won't remember all of them. But I'll write the dreams down, and then I will write down after I look up what the meaning is, and then I'll look out some action I need to take. Like, what do I need to do to make my life better? And I think that's an important piece that many people, they don't really understand. But I'm here to tell you that this is something that you all can do. Okay. It's something that you all can do. And so I think sometimes, we get thrown off of our rocker because of a perception that has entered our lives. Whether it's something we see, something we hear, something we feel, something we touch, something we notice, or something we just get a sense of, right? Like, you just get that gut feeling. We've all gotten those gut feelings, right? So it's my hope that by me sharing these personal life lessons and stories of mine, that you're going to bridge, and you're going to be able to start practicing in your life right away. Because you see, each one of these stories that I'm going to share, these personal stories, is designed to help you figure out how you can be better, how you can hone in on your purpose. And I think that's an important piece for a lot of people to understand. So let's kick it off with number one. All right. Kindness opens the door to inner freedom. Kindness is often seen as simple acts of generosity, but its power to unlock inner freedom is profound. And I think that's important. And so a lot of people don't realize, what this means. But I think if you take a moment, I think it can help. Um, I think it can help. And I think it can help you to, become better. All right. I think it can help you become better in your life. And again, this is not going to happen, folks, overnight. I got to tell you that right now. It's not going to happen overnight. All right. So this practice doesn't just help others, it helps us too, creating space for a heart that is free from emotional burdens. I found that with each small act of kindness, whether a word of encouragement, a gesture of support, or simply a moment of patience, we move closer to an internal freedom that stays with us. It's a freedom from being at the mercy of our reactions and the events around us. Kindness in its purest form is a reflection of inner strength that radiates outward. Number two, guys, serving others frees us from selfishness. The more we focus on serving others, the less we are consumed by self interest. The truth is, our lives are solely about us. Acts of service, whether big or small, are like mirrors that remind us of, the bigger picture. When we give our time or resources to others, we often receive much more than we expect in return. I've discovered that by stepping into service, I break free from the narrow confines of ego, which sometimes I fall into, which often leads to selfish desires and feelings of isolation. Serving others is the antidote to the kind of selfishness that can leave us feeling trapped or unfulfilled. It's a reminder to all of us that there's joy to be found in bliss in connections. By lifting others up, we elevate ourselves, moving beyond personal limitations and opening ourselves up to a greater sense of purpose and belonging. Number three, self-control empowers us to choose our path. That's right, I said choice. There's often a misconception that self-control is restrictive, but in reality, it's the ultimate source of freedom. The ability to resist distractions, manage our impulses, and even say no when needed is, what allows us to direct our lives with true, pure intention. Instead of being carried away by every fleeting desire or external pressure, we choose the course we want to take for ourselves. When we practice self control, we set boundaries that protect our time, our energy, and even our mental clarity. Over time, this discipline accumulates and it creates a solid foundation upon which we can build the life we truly want. The power isn't in giving into every impulse, it's in the freedom that comes from making conscious choices, cultivating patience, and aligning our actions with our long term goals. Self control doesn't limit us, guys, it empowers us to live deliberately. But when you think it limits you, then that means you haven't gotten enough education about it. You haven't gotten deep enough in it. Number four, true freedom comes from mastering ourselves. External circumstances can shape our lives, but true freedom is found within all of us. When we master our thoughts, emotions, and actions, we stop being reactive to the world around us. Instead of being tossed around by anger, fear, or stress, We choose to live with a sense of, well, purpose, gratitude, and self awareness that's anchored by our core values. This self mastery allows us to remain calm, centered, and even, well, knowing that our external events can be chaotic. It's not that we welcome immune to challenges and that we become it that way, but we gain the ability to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. By learning to govern ourselves, we gain a profound kind of freedom, one that comes from within us. It's the freedom to live according to our own values, to remain true to who we are, and to build a life that reflects our deepest beliefs and aspirations. Number five, helping others helps us grow beyond our own limitations that we have and what we perceive to have. One of the most powerful ways to push beyond personal limitations is to help someone else. Every act of kindness or service opens up new parts of ourselves, areas we didn't know existed. I personally experienced how stepping up for others expands my own capacity for compassion, resilience, and creativity. When we help others, guys, we often go beyond what we thought we were capable of. In those moments, we discover strength, empathy, and problem solving abilities we hadn't recognized in ourselves. See, this growth is not just about being good, guys, for someone else. It's about unlocking potential within ourselves. The more we give, the more we stretch and the more we grow. By showing up for others, we show ourselves what we are truly capable of achieving. It's in these moments and acts of service that we often find our greatest strength. Number six, kindness builds bridges that set us free. Kindness is more than just a virtue, it's bridges that connect us with others in very profound, magical ways. In today's world, where division and misunderstandings often seem to be around every corner and they dominate kindness, we can offer a simple yet powerful way to dissolve barriers by being kind. I've learned that when we choose to be kind, especially in moments of tension or uncertainty, we break down walls of judgment and fear. Again, false evidence appearing real. It's through kindness that we bridge the gaps between cultures, beliefs, and experiences, and we help create a shared space where connection can truly flourish. These bridges aren't just about fostering friendships or community, they're about creating an environment where freedom can thrive. When we act with kindness, we free ourselves from isolation and open the door to deeper understanding, acceptance, and collaboration. It's in these moments that we realize that true freedom lies in how we relate to others and how we choose to foster connection instead of separation. Number seven, service transforms duty into purpose. When we choose to serve others, something extraordinary happens. What might initially feel like an obligation or responsibility transforms into something, well, deeply meaningful and special. Service is no longer about checking off a task or meeting a requirement. It becomes a powerful channel for a purpose. I personally found that more heart that I have and is chosen to be put forward into serving, I discover a deeper sense of fulfillment. What once felt like a duty now feels like a mission. This shift in a perspective is transformative. It's not just about the act itself, but the intention behind it. When we serve with a passion, with an empathy, and with a genuine desire to make an impact, well, the act becomes a catalyst for personal growth. We begin to see that service isn't a burden, but a privilege, an opportunity to contribute to something greater than ourselves. In turn, this sense of purpose fuels our motivation and fills our lives. That's right, with meaning. Number eight, self discipline creates lasting liberty. True liberty doesn't come from doing whatever we want whenever we want, it comes from aligning our actions. Okay. We have to know what that means. Okay. And I think this can get a little bit challenging. All right. I think that can get very, very challenging. And sometimes, when we think about, let's say, liberty, and we think about the fact that, just being able to do anything means that you can just be. But when we align it with something, I think that's when things get magical. A liberated life is when our goals, our purposes, our core values are intertwined. As I said before, our greatest freedom comes not from outside, but from the choice we make in every way internally. And that's important, right? I think that's important. And I think sometimes this gets hard for some people, right? The acts build strength, right? They change us. They transform us. They go deep intrinsically to give us the power that grows us to be something pretty amazing. Each of these lessons, when put into practice, offers a path to real freedom. One that comes not from external circumstances, as I said, but from the power within us to choose, to act, and to serve. True liberty is found in how we live and the values we uphold that's set by our core values. By embracing kindness, service, and self control, we unlock a freedom that no one can take away from us. This is the freedom that leads to fulfillment, strength, and a life of purpose and many, many riches. So, to break this down a little clearer, because I know this is a lot, kindness teaches us how small, everyday actions can lead to emotional freedom. That could be holding a door open for somebody, it could be complimenting them on their clothes that they're wearing, it could be anything, right? And it also can lead to emotional freedom and peace of mind. Service shows that by shifting our focus from a self to an others mode, we can liberate others from constraints of ego, selfishness, enriching our own lives in the process. I've talked about WIIFM, what's in it for me, which is what most people listen to, instead of listening to WIIFU. Now, WI is actually WIIFU, starting with U, meaning a why. What's in it for you? Okay. That's something not a lot of people tune to because they are selfish. Self control is about choosing a path of intention and a purpose rather than being swayed by fleeting desires or distractions or what the Joneses are doing or the bandwagon technique. Self mastery, on the other hand, emphasizes the power of mastering our own inner world, our thoughts, our emotions, our actions, to navigate external challenges with a calm sense and developed peace and confidence. Helping others, well, it's a way to break through personal limitations, uncover hidden strengths, and grow beyond what we thought was possible. Kindness as a bridge encourages us to connect deeply with others, dissolving divisions and creating meaningful relationships that enhance our freedom. Service transforming duty into purpose shows us how serving with heart can give deeper meaning and fulfillment to our lives. Self discipline teaches that true freedom is found through restraint and aligning actions with values, not indulging in every whim that comes past us. Freedom in treating others and ourselves well highlights the fact that importance of respect and compassion in creating a thriving environment for ourselves and those around us is key. Acts of kindness and service unlocking deeper strength, emphasizing that every time we give to others, we draw on an inner reserve that makes us stronger and more resilient. I like to think of this: when we are kind, we cause that dopamine, right, to raise in our bodies, our brains. So we get that natural high. And we want to do more of it, especially when the person is so grateful. The act of helping somebody feels so great, right? But when the person is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe what you're doing for me. So these are not just philosophical ideas, right? They are practical life lessons that can lead to more empowered, intentional, and a fulfilling life. The goal of each of these lessons is to help you cultivate the mindset and actions that lead to true freedom, which comes from, again, inside us, rather than from the external world. Does that make sense, everyone? Because most people react because of something going on in their world. So there's two ways we can be. I've talked about this before. You can be reactive, right? And you can be proactive. So in your life, if you are proactive, like in the case of preparing for a fire, and you checked your smoke detectors and you have your safe exit plan and you know what to do and you know what to grab, that's being proactive. Reactive says, "Oh, right, you know what? Oh, there's a fire. Oh, gee, where do we have the fire extinguishers? How do you think we should get out of the building?" Um, and you panic. And you know what's going to happen? Many times, people unfortunately have fatalities because they rely on reactiveness. Reactiveness is okay when it's an emergency, but you have time to plan, right? You have time to plan for things. And I could go through so many different things, like a rainy day in business. How do you get proactive for that? How do you save for that rainy day? How do you prepare for challenges that might happen? How do you do that? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. Do check out believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. That's believemeachieve.com. Remember, freedom comes through kindness. So let's start practicing it right now.